Hey boys, Steptoe here again, mate. Just been changing the oil on the 1100, and I've rounded the sump bowl filter, oil filter bowl off, and I've torn the bolt off it and made it a hell of a mess of it. So to get the thing off, I've had to bash a socket. Well, I actually used a spanner, bashed a spanner on it to get the thing off. But what I'm going to do, I've just found a second one, and I'll just clean this one up. So I'll show you how I did it to take it from this all knurled up, bashed up bloody thing that you can't really use, and dressed it up to match something like this. So I'll quickly show you how we did it. I'll show it in here. What we're going to do is we're going to bring the file in. We're going to start the file on an angle like this. So we're cutting the base of all the knurls off. So we're cutting, instead of coming in like this, so when you put your socket on, you've only got half the nut for you to work with your socket. So we'll cut it this way, and when it's finished, it'll end up with a whole face, a whole surface area of the nut to work on. I'll just slip around here, and you sort of got to try and find the original 5 side faces of it. So if you've got a face to work with, just quickly spin that around. You can do it on any. I've done it on quite a lot of bolts over time, and it works reasonably well. If nothing else, just to get you out of trouble. So that's got a sort of half got it closed off, whereas the socket fits over it, which is not quite right. So we'll just slip over the right side socket we're going to use. We're going to try and, it doesn't quite slip on there. So this is where we start using it for size. You just tap it on. And you do that just to get a size of the tap. At least this way you'll get a decent size of where you mark your bolts. Now with a new socket over it, you can see where the new marks are, and that gives us something to work on. And we just dress it down to those marks now. So we just drop it back in here. Drop it back in and just start working with the marks that we just made, keeping the angle of the file cutting to the base of the nut. And that way you'll get more than a square surface for your socket to sit on. And that'll be quick dressing from here. Here they're only pretty quick dressings up to so you don't want to overcut it so your socket's loose again. Something like that. I might even just leave that in there. Just get the socket and slip it on there. It's still a touch tight, but then you just tap it on there again, and you'll end up making new marks. So that's almost going all the way to the bottom there now. And that's sitting to the bottom, so we've got our square faces. So all we do is belt that back out of it again. Just maybe belt it out. Good screwdriver. And that's left us a whole new set of marks to work on. We'll just get that out of there. And then all we do, we go again and grind off to the edges, still keeping that file that way. Just slowly take that face down to a surface that you can work with. Same again. Just grinding down to the marks, filing down to the marks that were left on this, off the socket. Quickly, and again, and almost is just a tap. That's almost, you could almost say that was right. Just almost. Just a little bit more convincing and a bit more persuasion. So it doesn't take long. It's got a few more new marks that we've got to follow. We've got to follow, there's two there, just two on this face here. There's just a couple of smaller light faces there. Face still going back to the bottom of the bolt though. Stab myself. And working from the base of that. Oh, ouch. More of a hit here. Just surface that surface up. We should be getting bloody close to something you can use like that. You can actually push that on, and even if you can't, you take the bolt out. There you go, look at that, see? And that there is a brand new factory fit from a 12mm down to a 10mm at the minute. And if you want, just slip around and give it a really light rub, a couple of more light rubs if you just want that to go on a bit freer, the tiniest little bit freer. We'll just give it a littlest bit more of a rub. A couple of sides just where the marks are. Still cutting on that angle. There you go, all the way on. Pop off by hand, push on by hand. A nice tight fit, there's no movement there at all. And you've just saved yourself whatever the price of a new pin is. So if you've got a file at home, job's done, no problem at all. And there you have it, you've got two brand new pins. Nothing wrong with them, they're just different sizes. You just got to remember what size you had. So there you are, another tip from Step Toe. See ya.